Hello everyone. Welcome back to the stream. Today we are on the Mon Ultimate once again. This time for the wet race of our LMP3 and GTE series. Let me just switch on over. Welcome. Yeah, these are the conditions for today. We have some light rain conditions. It's actually, I think, meant to be moderate rain conditions, or just rain, as the game describes it. So it should be quite interesting. Let's exit out of this. Select ourselves. Course setup. I need 21. I think liters of fuel. As we head into qualifying here. Oh, someone's accidentally gone out on mediums. Someone's already accidentally crossed the line and got themselves a penalty. Let's see, track is very wet. We have light rain. So, Silverstone in the wet. I've done a few races around here in the wet. Back when the rain physics were just recently changed, there was a fixed prototype ran here as a daily race. So I did a few races in the P2. And it was good fun. So it was, of course, that ELMS P2 is so incredibly fun. The conditions were certainly interesting. Silverstone is a tricky one. You've got a lot of sort of high-speed corners that really benefit from taking the racing line. But the racing line certainly is a bit slippery. The car does sort of snap out from you, does sort of slide around, and so you have to be careful on it. Oh. That's not a good start. Yeah, that's maybe a little example of how slippery it is. Might need to turn TC up a little bit. Felt fine in practice. But yeah, it's difficult to know, do you stick to the racing line, taking the best line through the corner, or do you venture off the racing line to try and find a bit more grip, but, using a compromised line. Anyway, we're going to start our first flying lap here. Track starts very wet. Car sliding towards the exit of T1 Copse Corner. Heading now into Maggots and Beckett's. You certainly have to be a lot more careful through here in the wet than you are in the dry. A lot more cautious, can't attack the corners as much. Still one trying good exit out of Beckett's and Chapel to head down the hanger straight. Coming up to Stowe corner. Go try and hold a tight line. The car just sliding off the racing line. Wide of the apex. That's not the worst. Again, go hold. Oh, nah, just not quite getting its car slow down there. Track doesn't have that grip. Club corner. Very difficult corner in these conditions. Car just wants to spin on you if you try and take it flat out. Now through the loop. Let's try not to spin this time. And I've been trying a sort of wider line, missing the apex of the entry. Try and carry a bit more speed, not have the car snap out on me. Through onto the Wellington Straight. Then into Brooklands and Lovefield. Trying to run around the outside of the racing line, then sir coming in. Be off the racing line. On the inside. First flying lap at 12.7. Using all of the track there on the exit of T1. As we go for another lap. Not as good of an exit out of Beckett's and through Chapel. Snap of the rear as it hit the brakes there. Struggling for traction then on the exit. Of course, go find a good bit of time here, not running off the track. Just balancing the car on the throttle and steering through club corner. Just time to be ever so patient to wait to reach full throttle. Oh, a little bit wide there. Carried more speed sort of into entry, but that slide cost us the momentum on the exit. Try and carry a bit more speed into Brooklands. Bit more traction on the exit, holding that tighter line. Better exit there. Run to the line now. It is going to be provisional pole position, but I'm sure we're going to drop off from the top spot as people find time. And I think the track is slightly drying, is gripping up. So it's going to be the final lap that matters. Much better through Stowe corner like that. We're nearly 4/10 up. Car moving about through Abbey and Farm. Better exit from Aintree, carrying more speed down the Wellington Straight. We're 7/10 up, heading into the final few corners. Oh, not able to hold that tight line, and that costs us momentum on the exit of Brooklands, or acceleration I should say. Yeah, we've lost a bit of time in the final sector, but still going to be 5.5 tenths up. Carried more speed out, got earlier on the throttle out of Cops, but we didn't carry speed into the corner. Was a little bit wider too. But good run through Maggots and Beckett's. And we're 3/4 of a tenth up now. Lost a bit of time through Stowe Corner. Trying to be a bit more aggressive on the throttle out of the Veal chicane, but the car started snapping on us. A little too aggressive on throttle, trying to hold a tight line off the racing line, but didn't work out. Gonna have time for 2 more laps in this session. Might be difficult to improve unless the track continues to improve itself. Give ourselves the best exit we can. We're trying to at least. Still holding on to pole position, by the way. Oh, big slide through T1. I don't think the track is getting any better now. I think it's sort of leveled off. And it's up to us as drivers to find the time ourselves. Right on the limit of breaking into the Veal chicane. Oh, big snap through club again. Oh, just slightly over track limits there. Wasn't likely to be an improvement anyway. Final lap then. Ah, car did not like that downshift. I will leave it at that then. Ben Brown bops up to P3. I was not expecting to get pole position. I don't feel like I understand the wet weather, as in like, do you take the racing line? Do you not? I feel like I don't have a good balance of usage there. So I didn't feel it come into the session feeling confident or feeling like, oh, I have a chance of, doing really well here. Alfie pops up to second, less than 4/10 behind us, but that's still a reasonable gap. They go on to their final lap. Angel and Brown have ended their session 6/10 off, very close to each other, just over 100th of a second separating those two. Ben Crook struggling, down in P6. Let's have a little watch of this session. Ben Crook just gone up to P5, just jumping within a second of the time, a little more than 100th in front of Pike. Bevan, where's Bevan? Bevan's currently not improving as he comes out of Stowe corner. How about a little further back? Zach Silver's on for a little bit of improvement. Manders. Ooh, Manders has found a bit of time. Trying different lines through Village and the Loop. On for much improvement. Let's jump back to Zach Silver through the final couple of corners. Is relatively even with his delta. Not sure if he did improve. Manders trying to improve. Big slide hove. Luffield, though, is going to scuffer that lap. Charlie Morgan's a wee bit behind. Alfie Bevan. Oh, he's on a lap. Purple in the middle sector, 6/10 up. He's taken the racing line, interestingly, into the final couple of corners. And 6/10 up on his delta. It will be pole position then for Alfie. To the top of the timesheets. Ben Crook. Ben Crook's on an improvement. Nearly 2/10 up heading into Brooklyn. Says, found a bit of time on the entry. Or maybe the delta just not entirely accurate through the corners. Oh, has lost a little bit of time. It isn't going to quite be a 10th up. Will be an improvement, but will still only be P5. 4. Ben Crook. So there we have it, second place. Once again, 2 seconds in a row. Last week didn't go too well from second place. Hopefully this week can go a bit better. That is the hope. That is the hope indeed.
Teams and drivers go to the grid for a race start.
Right, so we're going to put 90 litres in. Theoretically, with some of the times that we're seeing in practice, this race could be done on 85, but it is set, as you see, to dry out in the latter half of the race. So that could be an extra lap. That could be a little more fuel used per lap. So I just want to go a bit safer with 90. There's not much reason to, cut it fine. There's a lot more to lose than gain. That is for sure. Yeah, don't need the full 100 litres, though. We'll save ourselves 10 litres of fuel weight, which I think is about 7 kilos. I think I've seen a litre of fuel equating to 0.7 kilos. Which is like 0.3 of a pound if you're American and use those fake units. Let's get ourselves on the grid. Get our headlights on and the wipers already on. Nice. Ben Brown accidentally had mediums on there. At least he quickly realised and was able to get that changed. Oh boy, this is going to be an opening lap. I'm a bit nervous for this one.
Formation lap has started.
I'm certainly a bit nervous for this one. These wet conditions won't make it easy. This time it's Alfie on pole position, Angel just behind on the second row. Ben Brown sitting in behind us. With the wet conditions, tyre warm-up isn't as bad or isn't as important or as major of a difference as it was last week in the dry conditions in Interlagos. So hopefully we won't lose out because of that as much. Seems to be a little weakness of mine. But yeah, these wet conditions, we'll have to see how it goes. On the outside, 3 will cost us a little bit. Will potentially give Angel a chance towards T1. Waiting for the green now.
Green flag, green flag.
Angel got a fantastic start there. Ben Brown going very aggressive on this opening lap. Oh, come on. Just trying not to destroy the rear tires. Well, this is going to be a long race now. There apparently isn't any suspension damage on the HUD. No suspension damage according to the pit UI. In which case, we are very lucky. Yeah, these wet conditions are not going to be easy for lapping GTEs. Oh, no grip there for a moment. Gotta try and get all these GTs that are fighting one another. Thankfully, we've got a long race. And we're finally past all of the GTE cars. So we're already 14 odd seconds off the lead. Gotta see what our pace is gonna be like. See if we can find the sort of same pace that we had in qualifying over most of the grid. Exciting issue for Eddie here. Car wanted to spin there. Someone has had a spin. Did a good job catching that slide and not letting the car go for a spin. Much more confident on the brakes there than Eddie. Into Bricklands, and that lets us get the place. Already this fighting costing us time. Benholm's next car up the road. Clearing that track limit cut. I don't want to get too many. And the ones at Copse Corner can be particularly harsh. Locked. Left-hand brakes. I think both of them there. Oh, that's weird. We're just trying to slip away as I try to put the power down. Just trying to get a run. That was not an intentional send. Benholm's very early on the brakes. I was a little bit worried I wasn't going to get stopped for a moment, but we were just fine. Oh, Benholm's cutting me off a little bit there. I'm getting frustrated now. You know, we're nearly a quarter of the way through this race already. Better exit. Oh. Mistimed that. Right, Nick Mander's next car up the road. By a 5-second gap. Oh, the rear left is really struggling. Ah. Yeah, the left-hand side tires are struggling. Oh, come on! You know, car felt great in qualifying. And now it just feels like a load of shite. Yay, front left lock up. Or front right. I couldn't exactly get off the brake there as it just sort of went into the side of car in front. Well, they missed the corner. Don't know if they got scared or not. Yeah, any hope of getting above 7th place is gone, I would say. Car just felt like it was bogging down. And the rear end's still sliding through the corners. I'm still surprised I don't have suspension damage. Yeah, I'm not interested in finishing that race. It's... I like a challenge, and that's what the car was, you know, when it was fine. But, you know, having the rear tires fucked since that lap 1 incident just kind of I've had enough. I'm not enjoying that. It's not fun. You know, the car felt, you know, the car was twitchy. It was difficult in qualifying. And that was fun. But yeah, to have my race ruined like that, and then it's like, yeah, I'm not interested. Yeah, that just not fun. Well, we'll be back next week, hopefully with a better race. The last 2 races have been a bit eh. Um, we'll be back with Paul Ricard. So we will. Yeah, hopefully that'll go a bit better. It'll be dry again. I mean, it being dry didn't save us from last week. I mean, last week wasn't as bad. You know, despite sort of the issues, we were still able to do relatively well. You know, it wasn't too bad. But yeah, there it's like, yeah, there's just no balance in the car, and when there's no balance in the car and conditions as tricky as that, yeah. I don't have interest. So yeah, that's unfortunately going to be another the end for this stream. Yeah, shame. Shame, because it could have been a fun race if it was ruined for that lap 1 incident. Oh well. That's how it goes sometimes. Also, back on Tuesday for Mazda Multiclass. We'll be at Kalami for a 90 minutes double point finale. That will hopefully be good. And yeah, hopefully that'll be a bit better than Phillip Island was this week as well. So yeah. Take care, everyone. Have a good weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.